What's up? Welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Bernicia, and I got something for you guys today. So Zeus, they finally dropped the first episode to Baddies Midwest, okay? And I'm not gonna lie, they started off with the shit, they jumped right into things, okay? So not only did they grace us with the first episode, but they also dropped the second episode. And I'm gonna tell y'all why. Okay? Went ahead and dropped the first episode because if, as you guys know from the clips that's been circulating on the internet, that they started off with the whole sit down between Krishan and Teseki, okay? Now, y'all, it's a whole lot of that went down, and I want to get into my thoughts about the whole situation. But like I said, Zeus dropped both episodes because the whole first episode really was about Krishan and Teseki sit down. And listen, if they would have left that first episode out without dropping the second episode so that we can see the full context of the conversation, everything would have went to shit for Teseki. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now. All right, but of course, y'all know how I do. So I'm going to get into the thick of things and break everything down as it happened. So let's get started, right? I'm going to just say this. The intro was too long, okay? It was about 5 minutes. They wanted to do a recap from last season, and they also did the trailer for this season all over again. It took, like I said, it took 5 minutes. We didn't really need it, okay? We didn't need it at all. But what I will say, though, the entrance for the girls was epic, okay? This was by far the best entrance, right? So they had the Zeus private jet. They had pink carpet laid out for the girls. And then they had the OGs pull up in nice whips, okay? Like Lamborghinis, tricked out trucks and shit, okay? So the OGs that showed up at the airport for the private jet was Natalie, Scotty, Rollie, Jayla, Onimat, Biggie, and Teseki, okay? Now, the girls pulled up. Everybody's looking like they had a little glow up, okay? Some of the outfits I really wasn't feeling, but Rollie jumped out looking real good, okay? I don't give a fuck what y'all say about Rollie. Homegirl has come a long way, and she looks damn good. I like the Teseki's outfit, too. She looked good in that all white. Scotty. When Scotty jumped out in them fucking fishnets and them drawers, I almost gagged. She looked very fucking stank, okay? And let's not talk about how she was in her professionals talking about she's coming with the fashions this season. Well, honey, if you coming with the fashions this season, you off to a rough start, okay? Because them drawers was not cutting it. Them white drawers and them fishnet stockings was not cutting it for me, all right? So anyway, you got the OGs on a private jet. Everybody's toasting it up, cheering, talking about, things to come on the season. They just, having a little conversation. And then Natalie receives a text message, okay? So then she tells the girls that they have to make a pit stop in Oklahoma. So at first everybody's looking like, what? Oklahoma? So she goes on to tell them that Krishan has reached out and Krishan would like to return to the show. Well, she would like them to make a place for her on the show. Basically, she needs a bag, okay? So Natalie tells Teseki that she feels like, her and Krishan needs to have a conversation, which they do. They do need to talk. They hadn't talked since the whole thing, the whole jumping situation that went down a couple years ago. And so at this point, yeah, they do need to have a conversation. On camera, no, but they do need to have a conversation. You could tell by the look on Teseki's face that she had no intentions on talking to Krishan anytime soon. And I don't blame her. I really don't blame her. Bitch ain't got time for that. Like, I'm trying to enjoy myself. I'm trying to, do my thing. And I don't have time for a bitch that's just out there throwing salt on my name. So I understood why her face said all of those things, okay? So anywho, Teseki reluctantly agrees to have the sit down with Krishan. So the girls go to Oklahoma. And so when they get to Oklahoma, Biggie and Anna goes up to Teseki's room while she's waiting to go down and talk to Krishan. And they basically voiced their concerns about the whole situation. Now, Anna in particular felt like, she was scared about how things was going to turn out at this meeting. She didn't have it, she felt like things wasn't going to go work out well, which she ended up being right. But she felt like things wasn't going to work out in this meeting particularly because of the allegations that Krishan had thrown out there about Teseki. And, it's the whole thing because Krishan explicitly said that she didn't want Biggie or Anna to come with Teseki to this meeting, okay?
Tough break, nigga.
So both of them is really feeling some type of way because they want to go to support Teseki, but they can't. And at the end of the day, I do find it admirable that they want to be there to help their friend or be there to support their friend. But at the end of the day, this is not only just a family situation, but this is a very intense family situation, okay? And these girls, I love the fact that y'all want to support y'all friend, but y'all need to stay the fuck out of it, okay? At some point, you gotta know when to step back, okay? So yeah, I think it's a good idea that they stay behind. I'm just saying. So anyway, Rollie, Scotty, Jayla, and Natalie. Those four girls, the OGs, they head out to the restaurant to sit down with Krishan before Teseki got there, okay? And boy, when they came out of that building, I'm gonna tell you right now, the girls looked good. But Scotty's body was giving everything. Her body was everything. Like, she had on this tattoo, one-piece jumper. Homegirl, she was eating, okay? That booty was jiggling so hard, it was creating waterways in the air, all right? She was definitely eating in that outfit, all right? So anyway, the OG girls, they go to the restaurant, and they wait for Krishan, okay? Natalie tells the girls that she asked Teseki to stay behind a little longer, so that they can catch up with Krishan real quick before the conversation got started. Whoop de whoop. Child, when Krishan come in, she come in pushing the baby. She's wearing all white. These messy motherfuckers start playing holy music like that. Oh. It was crazy. I mean, the fact that they had her coming in and they playing this holy music, she's wearing the white. They got her coming in like an angel, right? And I'm not gonna lie, Krishan is a beautiful girl. She looks good. She looks the fuck good, okay? So she comes in pushing Junior. And as she's sitting down talking to the girls, she's kind of like, apologizing for things that, the way she treated them and the way that she behaved. And she was just telling the girls that, she's in a different place in her life right now. And, and initially, at first, I'm like, okay, well, I'm sorry. I see some kind of change in her. She seems more relaxed, more mature. I liked to see her with the baby and her mothering environment and everything. So it was giving all of that at first, right? So then she, she says, she's no longer drinking or smoking and everything. And then Natalie in her confessional said, bitch, please. Natalie ain't buying that shit at all, okay? Maybe she knows something we don't. So anywho, the girls start to let Krishan know about the new cast members, everybody who's coming on to the show. And for the most part, Krishan, she didn't know the girls, and none of us really know who these new girls are yet. When they mentioned the fact that Jaden was coming on the show, Krishan surprisingly said nice things about Jaden, like, she hoped she represent, put out, put her music out there and things like that, to step outside of the shadow of being Blueface's baby mama. She really spoke positive when it came to Jaden and Alexis. It was when Natalie brought up Teseki that I knew that this conversation that they were going to have was going to be not good, okay? So, Natalie brings up Teseki, basically giving Teseki props for being the OG on the cast at this point. And Krishan Rock, immediately her whole demeanor changed. She makes this face and throws Teseki under the bus again and says that Teseki basically rode her coattails. Now, with that being said, that is a straight, like, to me, she came off as a straight hater, right? Because how could you sit up here and big up Jada and Alexis, but you can't even big up your sister? Like, I get it, y'all, y'all have something going on, but if you actually are coming in peace, if you have changed and you're coming to this meeting in peace, then why start it off with the negativity? Like, why start off calling this girl what you call it, a coattail chaser, or whatever the case is? Why start off like that if you're coming in peace and you're in this new vibe and this new spirit and all of this other extra bullshit? Why even start it off like that? You know what I'm saying? So that right there was the first indication that this shit was not going to work, So whatever the case is, Teseki starts to head in, and before she heads in, she spots the sister Chastity outside. So soon as Chastity set eyes on Teseki, she starts crying. She starts saying that, she just don't want anything. She don't want anybody to fight. She want everybody to get along, basically. She hadn't seen her sister in so long. And, there was all of the emotions and things. And so Teseki grabbed the baby and was holding her baby. And initially I thought that the baby was Krishan Jr. at first. But then if you paid attention to that scene, you could look through the restaurant and see that there was a man inside holding Krishan Jr., right? So I was like, okay, that's not Krishan Jr., that must be Chastity's baby. But anywho, that was a really emotional moment. You could really tell that these girls got major love for each other, okay? They are sisters at the end of the day. And Chastity just feels caught up in the middle of everything, right? She's there to support Krishan, but she just feels caught up in the middle of everything. And so, anywho, Teseki consoles her and they walk into the restaurant together. Now, when Teseki goes over to sit down and sit down at the table and whatever, Krishan gets up, give her a hug. Okay? And Natalie ends up leaving, but before she left, she was basically trying to be somewhat of a mediator. She was basically saying that the conversation needs to be had, which we all know. And she just basically wanted the girls to reconcile with each other. And she leaves, hoping that this is what's going to happen. And so initially when Krishan gets up and gives Teseki a hug, I'm like, okay, we may be going somewhere. But just as quickly as that thought came, it left. The bullshit started almost immediately. Both girls take their seat, and then Teseki starts off and says, what are we talking about? What's going on? And then Krishan's basically like, you start. Basically, she didn't want to initiate the conversation. So Teseki goes on to say that she's upset about the jumping situation. She's upset about she's been receiving a lot of backlash online because no. Krishan asked her, was she okay? And so she says, I'm okay in life, but not really. You know what I'm saying? Everything that was said about me has caused a lot of backlash. The jumping situation, she pretty much jumps right into what her issues are, which of course is the jumping situation and the allegations that Krishan has made against her, okay? And so Krishan immediately says, why would we backtrack? Like, she didn't want to talk about the molestation situation at first. And for me, I'm like, she had to know that was the main reason for the conversation. Like, that had to be discussed. If you're going to throw something out there like that to that magnitude, then you better stand on it, okay? Teseki gave her the floor to tell her story, to tell what had happened. And I didn't like about it was the fact that Krishan kept beating around the bush. Now, after watching this conversation in its entirety, I think I see what's going on right now, okay? And what I will say is I believe that both girls is lying and telling the truth about certain things, okay? Now, as far as Teseki is, I feel like something did happen between them when they was kids. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? It's a possibility that Teseki really did, you know what I'm saying, do what Krishan said she did. However, when Tay-Tay came in and Tay-Tay was like, y'all talked about this already and you said you forgave her, why you bringing it up on TV? It's like when the friend Tay-Tay came in and said that, she low-key, like, you know what I'm saying, put it out there that, yeah, something did happen between Krishan and Teseki, okay? And obviously they had discussed it before and agreed to move past it. Mind you, this whole situation that Krishan is accusing Teseki of doing to her, it did happen when they were children, okay? So obviously this conversation was had before as far as the molestation allegations, and Krishan agreed to move past it. So for me, it's like, okay, Krishan, why are you bringing this up now? You know what I'm saying? You and Teseki have been cool, y'all been close, and y'all have definitely moved past the situation. Teseki was with her up until that whole jumping situation. They was together. So now all of a sudden, y'all not on good terms, and you feeling some type of way because you feel like Teseki don't took your place. You know what I'm saying? Teseki's blowing up, and you feeling some kind of way about it, so you want to throw out that allegation. You know what I'm saying? You want to throw that out there as if you not hating on your sister, okay? And then when it came to Krishan, for me, I feel like Krishan is point blank period jealous, okay? It was the way that, you know what I'm saying, she made the slick remark about Teseki riding on her coattail. Okay, but here's the thing. And then she kept saying she put Teseki on. This is the thing for me. Bitch, you did not put Teseki on. Now, don't get me wrong. Zeus wouldn't have known nothing about Teseki if it was not for you. However, you didn't bring Teseki around because you wanted her to get some shine. You brought her around to be one of your cronies, your lapdogs, okay? You wanted Teseki to come on that show and beat up N.E.X.T and Woah Vicky, okay? You didn't bring her on there like, my sister's talented. Teseki does music, and she's been on the music scene for a long time. Teseki is very talented. She can sing, she can rap. You know what I'm saying? You didn't introduce your sister to show off her talents. You introduced her to do what the fuck she was supposed to do for you. And when things didn't work out the way you wanted it to, you had her jump. Okay? Your intentions was never to give Teseki any shine. So when she kept saying, I put you on, I brought you around, I introduced you, this, that, and the third.
Shut when you think about it.
That just shows me that you feeling salty about the fact that Teseki's up now. Teseki's sitting in the position that you once had, okay? She's glowed up. She's on her 3rd season of Baddies. You know, she's doing her thing. And you don't like that, okay? You don't like that. You don't got your ass out of jail. Now you come calling Zeus trying to get put back on. But your sister's already, you know, don't establish herself at this point. And you feeling some kind of way. Krishan feels like she's supposed to be the only person in her family to be the breadwinner. She want to be the one that everybody have to come to and beg and ask for some shit. Okay? Long as she the top dog, it's all good. But now that Teseki's in a position that she once held, she don't appreciate that shit. She don't like it at all. So you come out here, you throwing out these allegations against her. Now y'all sitting down face to face to talk about the situation, and you saying you don't want to talk about it. You want to go forward. Bitch, we can't go forward if you don't discuss what really happened. This is your time to put out the truth, the details. We want to know. You can't just go out and say something like that happened and then not talk about it. You know what I'm saying? While you in this girl face, y'all, this is the time to get it out there. Put it out there for real. That's why it's hard to believe Krishan. And not only that, it's like she done told so many motherfucking lies before. Hell, let's not forget that she put it out. She told Blueface that Teseki tried to set him up, and then it came out later. WAC 100 came out later and said that was a lie, you know, and that Krishan lied on Teseki about that, and that she was the one that was behind trying to set Blueface up, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, both Blueface, her ex-best friend, Jay, not Jay, but AJ. AJ came out and said that she had accused her godfather of trying to, you know, make advances at her and passes at her. But then we turned around, we saw him and her godmother at the delivery, at the hospital with Krishan when she was delivering Junior. You know what I'm saying? Like, she has, and then on top of all of that, we saw him and watched her play victim the whole time when her and Blueface was in a relationship. Blueface doing this, Blueface doing that, like he's just such an evil motherfucker. But then she turned around and have her sister jumped on national television. She didn't do what the fuck you wanted, so you had her jump. Mind you, she was big motherfucking pregnant, around there causing chaos and wrecking shit. Okay? I didn't appreciate her just throwing it out there like she just did so much for Teseki. No, bitch, your intentions was never to give Teseki no shine. That was never her intentions at all. But she trying to put it out there like she just helped this girl. No, bitch, you ain't help her. You was trying to help yourself. And it just backfired on you because that whole situation made you look like a weirdo. And Teseki ended up taking off after that. And so now, after all of that was said and done, you want to throw out allegations against her and things like that. Even if it is true at this point, if it happened when y'all was children, what does that have to do with now? We want to talk about the issues for now. Like the issue with you having your sister jump. Well, she sat there and she lied. We all seen what happened. You even bragged about it. There was a scene after the whole jumping situation where you was in a hotel with Jay and Marsh and you was saying, you was up there bragging about it. Bragging about having a jump. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why is you lying when it's all stuff that we can go back and pull out the truth? Like, why is you sitting up there fucking lying? And then another thing too, I really don't like to get into the whole Junior situation. Like, I try to stay away from that because regardless to whether or not, you know what I'm saying, Krishan is responsible for that baby's condition. If he truly indeed have a condition, which at this point I believe he do, it's like I try to avoid the kid situation because that baby ain't got nothing to do with nothing. But she sat there, she was like, you know, Junior's very blessed. Teseki says, you know, all kids are blessed, Krishan. What do you mean? She was like, no, but he's blessed. Like, he's blessed. This nigga is famous. Bitch, did you just call your baby a nigga? And like Teseki said, all babies are blessed. They are blessed and they are blessings, okay? And you're right. He is very blessed because, bitch, we sat there and watched you get into fights, do all kind of crazy shit. You smoke, you drink, you did all kind of shit while you was pregnant. Yes, Junior's blessed. He's blessed to still be here. He's blessed to have fucking made it into this world, okay? Especially when you sat around threatening to abort the baby the whole pregnancy. Yeah, he's blessed. That baby been through a lot before he even got into this world. Okay, so yeah, if that's what you mean, yeah, then he's blessed, okay? But for me, the worst part of it was like, once Krishan stood up and was like, you know what I'm saying? So let's get back to the conversation real quick. So it's like Teseki kept trying to get Krishan to talk about this molestation issue, right? She said that she felt like she was owed apology. She said that she felt like, you know, she said that, you know, she apologized for anything she felt like she did wrong to Krishan, and she felt like she deserved an apology. Krishan basically said that she ain't taking back what she said. So then they circle back, the conversation circles back to this whole jumping situation. And so Teseki goes to breaking down step by step what happened, what took place. And then Krishan jumps up and busts out and say, but you made me eat your pussy when I was 7. You know what I'm saying? And that pretty much ends the conversation. Teseki jumps up, takes off, go outside. And the episode ends there, right? But like I said, Zeus did put out episode 1 and 2. So when you get to part 2, it kind of brings more clarity into the situation, okay? So it's like when Teseki goes outside, Krishan is sitting in there with the sister Chastity, right? And she started talking shit about Teseki, saying that she could be out here, she could be telling about all Teseki's business, about what happened to her son. Basically, you telling the business. You're saying that what happened to her son was worse than what happened to Junior or whatever. Ain't nothing wrong with Junior, but tell her what happened to your son. You basically sitting up there telling the business. You basically insinuating that something terrible happened to this girl's son, like he was molested or hurt or something. Okay? Not only that, she's telling Chastity, talking about, oh, and she's with the man that you used to be with and things like that. She started saying like fucked up shit, but trying to make it seem like, oh, I could put this out there, but you started saying shit. It's like you keep saying, oh, I can say this, I can say that, but you started telling shit. You started saying fucked up shit about the girl.
Cut the cameras. Dead ass.
Shit that she was like, oh, and I could say it in her face. I don't have no problem saying it in her face, but bitch, you did have a problem saying it in her face. Every time Teseki got up, Krishan would get up and move around and rock the baby as if as if she trying to play, as if she don't, you know what I'm saying? As if she trying to play it cool. But bitch, we know you scared. That's why every time Teseki made a sudden move, bitch, you got your ass up and moved around. Okay? You wouldn't sit still for shit. Every time Teseki even moved the hand too much, you got up and you moved. That said a lot. Okay? Because you were scared that Teseki was going to whoop your motherfucking ass. So the fact that you could sit up here and talk out and say all these extra things about Teseki allegedly being a prostitute, dancing, and all this other stuff, why did you sit up there and say all of that on camera, on top of the allegation that you already made on her? Right? You didn't want to talk about that, but now you sitting up here spilling a lot of this girl motherfucking tea. If it's true or not, it still make you look like a weirdo.
Loser. Girl, if any motherfucker ever needed to sit they stupid ass down, you that bitch. You that bitch. Sit your stupid motherfucking ass down.
Hey, you want to address those issues. And my thing is, if you come in and have a conversation with your sister, by you trying to change your life, you should have came in with honesty, being open, you know what I'm saying, with forgiveness. Krishan displayed none of that. Even when Teseki was going on and on about how she felt about certain situations, Krishan acted like she didn't give a fuck. She didn't give a fuck about none of that. And then she ripped into her about how much she put her on, like Teseki is undeserving to be where she is. And then after the girl leave, you sit up there and you started talking crazy shit, saying crazy shit about her, talking about what you could say, but then you turn around and saying the shit. You know what I'm saying? That shows your real character. Okay? When she came in, she acted like she was changed and all of this, but Krishan ain't changed. That bitch ain't changed not one bit. Not one fucking bit. And like I said, I'm not going to sit up here and make Teseki look like she's some angel, because I do believe that there was some truth to what Krishan was saying. However, that's tomatoes to oranges, because if y'all had discussed this and moved past it, mind you, all of this happened when they were children. Children. Right? And I'm not saying it's right. It's nothing right about what, you know, if it's true that Teseki did such and such, it's not right at all. However, in the circumstances, when it comes to that, you need to blame the adults that was around in that situation. The adults were responsible. They all was kids. Kids don't just do shit like that. They have to learn that behavior from somebody. So they were being abused too. The whole family got a fucking issue, okay? But now you sitting up here trying to make your sister look like Chester the molester. After all this time. And then you don't want to go into details about what went down, how it went down. And then for her to say, oh, when I told her I didn't want to play house no more, she stopped playing house with me. Last time I checked, people who have sick fantasies and like to abuse people, they don't just stop because you tell them to stop. That's because that's not what it's for. They're not getting their rocks off for your benefit. They're getting their rocks off for their own benefit. So just because you want them to stop don't mean that they're going to stop. I've never seen it where a person who's a sexual predator just stops sexual predating you because you said stop. So it's like a lot that's not lining up with that. And I don't know. I just don't like it. I don't like it because none of this shit needs to be discussed on TV. It's nothing that we can do for y'all except sit around and talk about it. And at this point, if Krishan do want to make up with her sister, she got a long ways to go. If it's even possible. Because it's like, you don't put shit like that out there. That girl's reputation can be ruined. Her whole livelihood could be ruined because a lot of people don't want to deal with people who have sexual allegations like that against them. Nobody want to do business with somebody like that. So you could potentially have ruined things for her. I do hope Teseki sue her ass. Make her get a lot of tete-a-tetes and sue the shit out of her ass. I feel like that'll put a nail in the coffin for Krishan as far as this whole situation is concerned. So anyway, I might as well go ahead and get into episode 2. I wanted to break it down into 2 different videos, but fuck it. Like, we already here now. So, anywho, enough about Krishan and Teseki. So, in this next scene, you have Scotty and Natalie. So, Scotty and Natalie, they meet up with Diamond the Body, Jaden Alexis, and Alpha V. Okay? So, child, when Diamond the Body came out, Natalie tells her that she's gonna have to see Rollie. So then Diamond was like, well, should I change? Or whatever the case is. And my whole thing is Natalie's saying like, oh, you have to see Diamond. I mean, you have to see Rollie. Okay. So if you guys don't know a little backstory, Rollie, when the whole chain situation happened with Meatball, Rollie made a comment like, oh, you don't get a chain for being a clout chaser. Woo, 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 woo. So Diamond went to the internet and told her, she said some little slick comment. She said something in reference how Rollie was on live smoking with her son. Okay. So, like, ever since then, like, Rollie had some animosity for Diamond. So, I guess it's like, at this point, when I see her is on. That's what type of time Rollie's on. So, anywho, Natalie's telling Diamond, like, you always talking shit, this, that, and the third. So, Diamond was like, well, I'm not scared of no fade. It's just the fact that I don't want to fight in public. We can fight at the house. We don't have to fight in public. So Natalie repeats the fact that, oh, she's going to have to see Rollie. But my whole thing is, what is the rules here? Because last time I checked, the girls wasn't supposed to fight when they out and about in public. You know what I'm saying? So why, in this instance, you're saying Diamond has to fight Rollie in public? Like, Rollie, she don't want to fight Rollie right now. Doesn't mean that she's scared, but she's just saying, like, you know, she wants to wait till they get to the house and fight, you know, in the battlegrounds or whatever. And I feel that. I feel what she says, but at the end of the day, we all know that shit ain't really sweet when it comes to Natalie. She still feels some kind of way towards Diamond, and so she most definitely side with Rollie with the whole situation. So it is what it is. So anywho, Jada Alexis walks in, and Lord, that liposuction stomach got to go. Because, bitch, I was trying to find where her belly button began and end. Like, her stomach just looked so weird. You could clearly tell she had plastic surgery on her stomach. And don't get me wrong, I'm not against the whole plastic surgery thing, but girl, you shouldn't have wore those pants. Like, if your surgeon didn't fix your belly button, at least turn that bitch into a smiley face, you shouldn't have wore that outfit like that, okay? But anywho, her whole vibe seemed pretty cool. When Diamond jumped up and went to, you know, yelling and talking loud and things, Jada and Alexis did get real quiet. And at this point, I just think she's kind of like filling out the scene. Like, okay, this is what I'm going to have to deal with in the house. You know, I think she's just kind of peeping out the scene and everything. So, anywho, yeah. So then that's that. So then they switched to, no. Before we leave, okay, so Diamond, Akbar B asked Diamond about the whole tooth situation. And so Diamond was in her confessional. She was like, people keep asking her, do she want to get her get back with Teseki? And Diamond made it clear that she do not want no more smoke with Teseki, okay? I fuck with Diamond because, like it or not, that bitch is very honest and very real. And you can either take it or leave it when it comes to Diamond. I just like that she's just authentically herself, okay? So, anywho, So yeah, so Natalie makes a mention about the fact that when Teseki knocked out Diamond's tooth, it landed in her lap, and she decided to put the tooth in her shoe. And I was thinking, like, damn, bitch, that is not only nasty, but that is weird. Like, bitch, what you collecting people tooth for? Like, whatever. Like, that is just to let you know, Natalie is a little bit psychotic. Cause bitch, why you need a souvenir? So, anywho, the scene switches back to the other OGs. So, you got Rollie, all the OGs aside from Scotty and Natalie, of course, okay? So, the scene switches back to them. And they all talking about, you know, they're going down the line and talking about, you know, everything, drama, beefs, and all of this and the third. So apparently, Anna Mac already got some beef brewing up with the new girls, okay? Apparently, Summer, one of the newbies, she feels some type of way towards Anna because Anna didn't give her a ticket, and like they've been having social media back and forth. So it looks like Anna's going to be fighting this season, most definitely. Rollie talks about her beef with Diamond, and so yeah, she definitely is gonna be up there. And so Jayla kind of bring the conversation back around to the Krishan and Teseki thing, and she asked Teseki how she feels about everything. I keep going, Teseki, whatever. So basically Teseki just is like, you know, she feels hurt. They didn't resolve anything in the conversation. And she basically knows how she sees things for what it is now when it comes to Krishan. And once again, it got really emotional. It got really tense. You see Anna over there breaking into tears. And it was very touching for me because it's just so, I love Anna and Teseki's relationship, okay? Because I could see that she genuinely cares. She genuinely has empathy and care for Teseki, okay? And I'm not gonna lie, it does touch me a bit to see Teseki cry like that because I have never seen her get emotional. You know what I'm saying? So for her to get like that, it cuts deep, and I do feel some empathy for her for the whole situation. But yeah, you know, like I said, it touches me how, you know, Anna cares for Teseki, and clearly Teseki reciprocates. She's very defensive and protective of Anna. And sometimes when God closed one door, he opens another one, okay? Teseki may be going through what she's going through with her sister, but God has given her somebody in her life who can fill that void and, you know, play a position. Even though they're not blood, sometimes blood is not thicker than water. I'm trying to tell you. Sometimes it be your family that be your worst enemy, okay? And in this instance, Teseki has found her somebody who, you know, she can confide in, who's close to her, who feels her pain. And therefore, she's actually like the sister that what Krishan should have been. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Like I said, God removes people out your life for a reason. And perhaps, you know, it's time for Teseki to come up out of Krishan's shadow fully and blossom. And in order to do that, she needs to go through this right now, what she's going through with Krishan. She needs to experience this in order to get her glow up and get what God has coming for her, okay? So, anywho, yes. So the girls are getting ready to go to the mixer, and it's pretty much up and stuck at the mixer because soon as Teseki and, you know, all the other OGs walk in, I give it like 2 seconds. Motherfucking Diamond, she had left to go change, right? So she comes in, everybody's chilling and everything before she comes in. 2 seconds after Diamond walks in, Rollie just says, "Come on, bitch, let's handle that," and they start fighting, okay? Now, the fight pretty much goes into the next episode, so we don't really get to see, like, everything, but it do look like it was a good fight. I can't, like I said, I'm gonna have to hold my reservations until the next episode come out when it comes to that. But yeah, Rollie was about that shit, and so was Diamond. And low-key, Diamond's body was everything. Like, of course, she got her name, Diamond D Body, but her body was definitely giving. So yeah, that pretty much concludes episode 1 and 2. I think Zeus did a phenomenal job with you know what I'm saying, producing these 2 episodes and throwing them out there like that. And I'm really glad that they did put 1 and 2 out together so that it brings like a full round circle when it comes to that conversation between Teseki and Krishan. I already shared my thoughts with that. You guys let me know in the comments how you feel about that whole situation. And also, what did you guys feel about this episode so far? Are you guys enjoying it? Do you guys look forward to the rest of the season? If you are new here, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, guys, please, and thank you. Also, hit the notification bell so you guys know when I drop something new. With that being said, I love you guys. Deuces.